It was with Config standing for Stown at the end of last year at the Blast World Finals, I do believe. It's going to be curious to see how they perform on this one right here. Let it through in the veto. NaVi have picked it and bit. Well, trying to pick Cadian towards middle. Does fire off the P250.
It's a mind game matchup, that's for sure, especially with a veto like this to pull this out in a playoff match. Heroic are risking it all. NaVi will take middle. Bomb outside of the A side. Cadian going for late mid info. He's committed to this one. He's fighting for his life and he'll get bit and get out of dodge. They're chasing. Cadian's running, trying to hang around for a little bit more, but they split him from both sides. Cadian nails the shot. 3 kills from the captain.
That is so clean, and he's still got more to do. Cadian with 3 to his name already, pushes up close. He's trying to get even more. Will fall after 1, leaving this all on Simple in the clutch. Yabi and Stown both in the connector, and the bomb pulled. Simple is lucky to make it into the site. They didn't catch him crossing, and so now he's got a chance in this one. Simple makes it look too clean. Beautiful in that clutch.
Oh, that one's going to sting for Cadian, right? His 3 kills over towards middle were beautiful. He was stubborn about not giving up that space, but one in the name, one in the game, kicks that off on the pistol round here.
That's unbelievable. Just the way he plays that as well. They chase him. He goes ring around the cake, and he finds both headshots, isolates the jewels, breaks the server with that last one.
Having his cake and eating it right there.
Oh,
Here you go.
Dear. Chowing down.
And this is right at the CT side of Anubis, where Heroic are starting here.
They needed that pistol.
Right, it could have been huge. And Cadian again towards middle. This time, Electronic gets his head ripped off the shoulders. This is a great start for the captain on Heroic here, at least as far as the aim department is concerned. We see Bits, Silence, MP5 come out to play again. He really likes this one, doesn't he, boys? We've seen this more than a couple of times.
And what a head-to-head, you know, not the most typical, because of course one side is a captain, but the AWP is Simple v Cadian, not exactly the best of friends. And both off to fighting form to begin this quarterfinal matchup. Heroic with a pick, but as we know, you can never get comfortable on CT side Anubis, even with a 5v4, and especially with a weapon disadvantage. But only 1 AK, it's at least on number 1.
Yeah, that's a key point right there. We've spoken to different players. Jerry saying, hey, this map, it favors even disadvantaged situations in post-plant. So if NaVi can get in towards the site here, they're still on to win this one, opting to make their way across the bridge in middle. There is a bit of a gap presented here. It's just Shush and Cadian starting to rotate back now. That may have been heard on the wood.
Still, he's been beasting with the pistols over in mid. 1 kill already in this round, and he skirts out of the danger zone. Simple taking the mid space. 1 man over in main, and Shush, he's pushed up with the 5-7. This is a good fight for him. On the smoke fade, Perfecto's going to look to move in, and Shush just turns around. Now he's sandwiched.
Yeah.
They do well to isolate the main player. Running low on time now at NaVi and Heroic. They could stop this. The plant just goes down. Perfecto with 2. Can't manage anymore. It's a damn good try in the 1v4 with the last second bomb plant coming in.
And Cadian immediately injecting energy into the team as well, right? They get robbed of a pistol round that he should have closed, but Heroic at least find the force, and some say it's better.
Yeah, he's going to be feeling good about that as well. So sure, the pistol round didn't go their way, but the second he gets to open it with the Deagle there, so things are starting really hot here for Cadian. This is the opening pick in towards middle. Yeah, okay, that's a pre-fire right there. Definitely didn't get any indication that one was coming. And then Tassus, you see here, almost denying that plant going down to begin with, but still able to do enough here to get this one done, and that is a great way to draw things level 1-1. But NaVi, of course, they're going to force buy back into this, and a couple more AKs into this round of play, even better equipped in the AK-47 department for round number 3 than they previously were. And Cadian straight into the AWP.
Yeah, I'm getting the impression Cadian means business today. Yeah. It's been a hot start for him.
You've got to start hot. This is their first game in the playoffs.
They don't want it to be the last. Missed shot for Cadian, but there's cover from a rifle or a MAC-10 up close. NaVi have to look elsewhere. They've heard that AWP, and of course Cadian's going to start to make moves around the map, stay mobile. A map that 2 and 3 AWPs could even be viable at times. Cadian wants to be in two places at once. He's now back in mid. Heroic need to re-smoke this B site. They've still got the cross info, but Tessez didn't realize Simple already made it. 5v4, NaVi can just walk in.
Stoun's in so much trouble here. What's he meant to do? Oh, the drop down from Yabi. That's from nowhere.
Yeah, nice way to apply the pressure. Bit's got to keep looking behind now, but he nails the shot. They haven't cleared out Stoun, so he's still a threat in the back of the site, and that double from Stoun
still might not be enough.
Might give Heroic a reason, though, to give it a bit of a peek in, just see if they can find something to kickstart this, to finish what Stoun started. Cadian's hopping down. Util hold. Molly's going to force the swing out of the backside player, but a missed shot. And that looked like it was the staging platform for Heroic. That Molly gave them the fight they were expecting, gave them the fight they were looking for.
I feel like this is one of the highest level matchups we could have in Counter-Strike right now in terms of individual ability and your leadership. Sure, Electronic under a lot of pressure, and his individual performance has dropped off, but in the Pro League, he's been playing fantastic for NaVi.
What do you make of that there, Hugo, with Cadian scoping at where the step was? Do you think he was looking for where the step? You think he was looking for a player? He had a player coming through
I thought
cave.
it was the step, but then he looked onwards into the cave as well. So it's a little bit of both. He was looking for the step. I actually see a lot of players miss that silent jump. You can uncrouch in the air and hit that silent jump, but obviously a new angle. It's the same idea of, like, I see this all the time. Players walk into walls wrong. Like if you're running backwards or sideways, you clip because you don't exactly know the map like the palm of your hand. Right? You've played Mirage a million times. You know exactly where you can go. People are still figuring out there's teething issues on a map like Anubis, a new map, any new map. So yeah, that's somewhat clearing below, I think, but it's also, looking for the step. He did miss it. And
still made it.
Yeah.
Nice and noisy. Didn't really cost them too much. They did it. They weren't in too much of a stead to clear out that round. And now another force buy back from Heroic here. They have Shush in the side. He doesn't have a smoke.
But this isn't A anyway. NaVi are trying to sell a lie to Heroic. Cadian has a very hard shot, probably just information off of this pixel in dark. They make contact on A first before the B play comes in. That will be a kill with a nade from Bit. And nice response, but now Simple doesn't need to die. Cadian hits a banger, and a smoke at the doorway for NaVi is a problem.
Alarm bells are going off, but it's just the scout in the site. They might want to pressure this. With that kill from Simple, it's going to change the nature of the round. Suddenly it's a B play, and Yabi's going to miss this timing if he sneaks the whole way. He will be coming in on a backstab a little faster than NaVi are ready for, all the way around the rugs, and Cadian still holding with this scout. It was a lights-out opening shot, but this one, that's asking too much. Sails past NaVi, they cross into the site with 2, and Cadian is beheaded. Yabi's backstab! This had to be it, 9 HP, and he's swung immediately by Perfecto. Won't give him the room to play out a 1v1.
Quite a key there. Simple drops the AWP on the way into the site to get the AK so he can cover off that planter, and that's going to be a key in getting that frag on the flank. So Perfecto does scavenge it back. They get it in the hands, and what this means for Heroic now is an eco. But one of the things that I'm looking at with Heroic is the way that they're going to be playing with the rotations on this CT side. Now, when we saw FaZe play this map the other day, one of the keys for them was just aggression in different areas. They were pushing all across all different avenues. But right now, Heroic, they've had that drop down from Yabi. They've also been, dealing with, like, Cadian staying on B and only looking down to canals. That's interesting to me, that they were dealing with that rotation in that facet. They weren't passive. Like, he was standing in the open, essentially, over towards B here and just focusing down canals. So it's going to be curious to see a team like Heroic, who are really good at rotating, right? They're a really quick team, bang, 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 reacting off of the info. That's the one. And I want to see how they go about a map like Anubis, which we know the rotation points with this crossover from bridge and canals. It's an interesting dynamic.
Well, for this round, not an interesting dynamic, but Heroic will just stack, put all their pennies in the pot. 4 players at B with a flash as well. NaVi should just be able to farm. The flash to lower is nice, but there's a rifle at range, and Franco is just going to take the bullets, bodyguard his teammate Bit. Needs help from above. It's done a lot of damage. They're playing with him. They chase him down, and Electronic gets a kill, and even though the site is lost, Heroic, if they wanted to, could save a gun.
Tessez gives the gun to Stoun.
Another flash coming here.
Yeah, lining up the flashbang to try bring the AK in, but the flash is missed, and with it, the hope of winning a miracle round with just the USPs out the window. Think through the smoke, that at least stops the MAC-10 from chasing them, which is a nice bit of security to have. It is still sad for Heroic. They're going to be left with the feeling that this could have been that much more.
Yeah, on one side, they got good value for what they invested, right? Getting to save this AK-47 and grabbing a couple of kills is always nice. But when you have an opportunity like that and something like a missed flash, and on a map that you don't historically play. Last time I remember Heroic doing something crazy like this in the Vita was when they had like Dust 2 slip through. And I think it was maybe against like Furia or someone. I forget which team it was exactly, but it came back to bite them in the ass. It may have even been Mouse. It was a couple of seasons ago when Dust 2 was still in the map pool. And it didn't necessarily work out for Heroic here. So another risk taken in the Vito. And as we've mentioned, this is their first matchup in the Pro League playoffs. Fortunate based off of their group result. But you're going up against a NaVi who have been whirring through this bracket now, taking down outsiders, 0-0 Nation as well, who look to push them in their opening affair in the round of 16. And this is actually going to be a tactical timeout call from Heroic. Exists their legendary Counter-Strike player in his own right. One of the Brain Trust members here.
Yeah, Harry found the match.
Yeah, it was Mouse.
Season 16, Heroic actually picked it. Dust 2.
It was wild. I remember. I was like, what's going on here?
They got 40 rounds.
Yeah, not ideal. Less than ideal.
Suboptimal. And will that problem... It's hard to tell, right? It's, you know, Heroic may have ideas, but it's hard to tell on the CT side because, firstly, they've not been put through the ringer in officials, but also to see NaVi 4-1 up and, you know, finding this lead right back is not uncommon on a map like Anubis, where even the best teams in the world are struggling with the defense. Second map 10 we've seen on the CT side.
Where Vitality completed the 14-1 comeback, right?
True.
Where one CT round was enough.
Oh, so Heroic are fine now. They can just let their foot off the gas.
Yeah, just sail this one home. But it is interesting that this is our first, like, quote-unquote, proper gun round, and we still have a Mac 10 residual for Teslas here from the virtue of the save. So this is the type of round where we can really look into the CT setup. Yabi and Cadian in middle. This was interesting. They're both just standing quite staunch there in the little hut, hoping someone would peek, but not being obliged from NaVi. You can cheat Cadian over to help out Shush towards A. You've got Teslas and Stown trying to lock down over towards that B bomb site. And Teslas is just on the jump here. So you can see this, if they swing and explode, he can't really do anything to help Stown. So there are some issues with doing that jump spot. It's not the same as like overpass behind the truck or behind the dice box. You can get run down a whole lot more quickly here.
NaVi exerting a lot of pressure on A main here. Shush has clearly a smoke ready for this Molotov. It's going to be a different one, maybe a one-way perhaps, but he's going to have to pop it on the fire and stay alive. Flashed out, back to the safety of the site. 40 seconds, NaVi have put some pressure on, but this is still going to be an A execute. And they're not really poised for it. Electronics B, MPL's trying to take mid with him. This has to be a split quick.
Yeah, Yabi even slowing it down with the molly is big, right? It just kind of throws the timings through a bit of a loop. It's going to make this first point of contact, you know, a little more main focused as opposed to the mid-split component. But there's no eyes on middle right now. Heroic conceded it entirely, and so Shush is getting pincered. They get run over by NaVi.
And just enough time to plant here. That will have to be a save from Tessus and Stown. And Tessus, well, he's upgraded from the Mac 10 at least. But NaVi are really just being a nuisance here with the pace. Yeah. They're not giving Heroic anything within the early stages.
And I don't think they were even guaranteed to know that was an A player, even though NaVi were in main with 30 seconds, because NaVi threw an A-con smoke from outside A, right? That doesn't make it, you feel like you're getting mid-split. That's why Heroic are rotating CT. And Heroic have already seen rounds where NaVi are in main with 30, 40 seconds, but they run back dark into the B-bomb site. So there's no guarantees right now. Fakery from NaVi on this T-half. Some good exits from Stown, just trying to keep his gun going. Taking the AWP here would be a big weapon for Heroic. Oh, now they've heard it. Oh, he dies to the bomb.
Around the corner and pick that up.
Go get it. They expect more men. There are no more men.
Yeah, it was just simple on the around the world maneuver right there. So that's going to be a 5-1. This is NaVi running away with the early stages of this one.
Great beginning.
Yeah, it's just hard to get like too invested in the early stages of an Anubis. Like, how can you, right? How can you sit here and go, okay, well, 5-1, Heroic are in danger. We've seen the crazy things happen on this map before. So we're kind of just along for the ride. I think if we look at a positive, though, Cadian 3-1 in opening, 3-0 in opening duels. Yeah. That's not too bad.
You know, and considering it is NaVi's pick as well, it's not, oh wait, hold on. This is a fast B push without a flash as well. They just come storming through main, and MPL on this default is caught. Back to the drawing board for NaVi, and they've got to get the bomb out of spawn first.
It's actually really big that the bomb was left back in spawn. I think NaVi would have just gone fast A. They had 2 players over at main who were kind of, you know, like getting ready to commit to that. If you see 3 players at B, then you know serious concessions have been made on the other side of the map. That's usually the threat that you're under, right, with like trying to lean into an A play super early, is that they might have 2 players here, and the early crossfires that can be set up are pretty good, right? But when you see 3 players going through long like that, you know it's like max 1 over on the A side of the map. And I think NaVi did want to go A, but then there was that realization of, crap, the bomb's in spawn, we've got to go back and get it. And so it's not allowed them that kind of fast reaction. That's a big deal for Heroic. It's allowed this, you know, 5v4 advantage to play out and stick around, and now they've been able to shuffle up the defense more appropriately into the 3-2. They're even pushing through main. This is the freedom from bringing that third B player back. And it's showing in this round. Sure, they lose one more man. It's starting to fall apart, though. A good start to the round. Can NaVi close it? He's gone. It's just down 1v2 through Dark.
Nade on the bomb, it's good, but it's not going to take any kills here. Flash are trying. Pick Perfecto out of the picture. Electronics tucked in, and he flicks back. Down now. No kit takes the fight, but Perfecto swings and wins. NaVi keep converting. I gotta say, I love that one way for Electronic. Heroic got a main smoke in for B, but Electronic popped one just in front of Jail, and he climbs up on that brick. He can see everything. The temple rotate, back plat, down Dark. He's got the whole map here, and Heroic probably can't even see a thing.
Yeah, that was really nice. I enjoyed that a lot, right? That smoke actually gives an avenue for Electronic to go for that play. Without it, right, you'd be throwing a different B main lurk smoke, right?
It's the effect of, you know, you say this all the time, Chad, like the CT smoking a B main can screw you over. Yeah. Let's players cross it, let's players come through. Again, Heroic, no flash needed, by the way. They're throwing themselves out A main, but another advantage, will it even matter?
Yeah, they're kind of treating that like long on Dust too, right? Just swinging out and taking that fight on the corner, right? You have a whole lot more corridors to have to worry about here. And speaking of worry, on the other side of this smoke for Cadian is Bit. They're about to touch Tips. Cadian's is bigger.
Lucky no one swung there. He pulled his knife out. He'll even escape.
I can't believe they both get back across.
Surely.
Surely
the Heroic second round.
Has to be the round. And you can see they're grouping as well. They're just playing the Wolfpack.
This is like the start of another one of these like Wolfpack gambles though, right? They kind of left A.
Flank.
They will have a fast flank, sure, but I think it's if you give the plant over, that's how this round gets weird. Cadian, he needs to, at bare minimum, stay alive.
Both here. That's info on both. That was simultaneous mollies.
So now they know. And the backstab is coming in. Shush moving up behind. He's got Yabi with him. Cadian misses the timing on the cross into the site, but he drops down. Oh, misses the spray! And now the pressure gets to him. The backstab arrives. Electronic gonna try and do this alone. Surely not. Damage done. Doesn't know where the second man is. That's his big worry right now. Don't have the kid. Electronic spammed out over the top of the smoke. And so it gets a little hairy, it gets a little scary, but Heroic will pull up and win that one.
What do you think about that mid-round? 4v2, they play an anchor on each site, and then they double push mid to flank.
Very heroic, isn't it?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
very heroic indeed. I'm surprised that they just gave up the site completely like that. But and Cadian could look very, very silly if they didn't win that round right there with the maneuver he went with. But Shush getting very fortunate with the spam through the smoke on the Perfecto, and then they're able to isolate Electronic, who doesn't know where both players are coming from. So salvaged, but it's very, very close here. Look at the money for NaVi within these early stages. You can see just how close some of these rounds have been. If we take a look at the spread of 5 consecutive, the round where NaVi had the most staying alive was 3. The rest is 2 or 1. So just some very close rounds have unfolded, and more aggression here. This time straight down to Canals. Down taking the fight, finds the burst, and Cadian, they'll combo up for the second here. Mid aggression as well as dark aggression. Simultaneous has left NaVi stranded.
I'm starting to see why Heroic want to play this map, right? Want to let it sneak through in such an important game. They want to change the narrative of, oh, there are no aggressive moves you can make on CT Anubis, because Heroic, even if they're dangerous, they're making them work, and they are forcing them near every round. Mid pushes in mid rounds, dark flash, long swing. They've done it all.
It's really cool to see, man. You know, we've kind of been wondering, because for the, you know, sometimes it takes a while for like the actual kind of meta of a map to establish itself, right? Like the longest while at the beginning is like kind of counterplaying what becomes meta, and things change a lot over that time period. And Heroic, they've really been keen with a lot of this early to mid-round aggro. And it's not like what we've seen with other squads. That is a convincing way to take that round 4 alive. I like the aggressive moves that we're seeing. Acadian's getting hyped up now.
Yeah, because he knows what that means, right? This is a chance for them to just bring it to a 2-round game. NaVi had forced into that. Now with the loss bonus where it's at, they will have to take a bit of a save here. So they dealt with this very easily, and it's on their terms. Heroic are deciding how these rounds are going down, right? If they can take these opening fights, find the opener, it's going to give them more options later within this half. They're not going to have to be aggressive all the time. It's going to cause NaVi to start to stall out the clock a little bit. And then at that point, if Heroic are good with their utility, they might be able to stall out these late rounds. This scenario right here that is presented for the Danes is just simply keep as many players, oh, dearie me, as alive as possible. So don't go down NaVi and Cadian because you need to start building a little bit of that CT bank. When you look at the players in this team, though, you think that it can suit Anubis quite well here. Like, Shush can be your A anchor. Okay, done. Right? Cadian gets to be a bit more rotate heavy with the AWP, clearly taking point over towards middle in a lot of these rounds here alongside a Yabi. Very good aim for the middle position as well. And then Tessus and Stown. Well, we're talking about Stown, who can do secondary AWPing. That's perfect. He's over towards B already. And Tessus, well, I didn't even talk about that aim. Everybody on this team has very good mechanical ability, right? So you have some solid pieces that you can apply here on Anubis. It does feel like it would be a good map for them as well, like with the way that you can rotate around so quickly and using canals and faking teams out.
The grouping and the roaming is the key on CT side as well. Heroic love that on every map. Like, that's why I love watching them on Vertigo, because they'll just give up bomb sites and play retake. And this is a map where you have to make concessions at times. You have to give up A. You have to play towards heaven because of how many spots get mollied.
Yeah, I do think it is a pretty like, for example, if you ever see like an A play about to happen and there's one guy there solo anchoring it in that moment, you know that it's probably going to work for the teams,
exactly.
right? Like, and so I think Heroic have already shown us this. They're keen and they're not afraid to take risks, knowing that, sure, it might be a gamble and it might betray you in a handful of rounds, but it's also going to up the odds of you winning some of these really tricky takes to hold back. Another clean round on the board here.
I think one of the keys as well is, right, we're talking about this being a map that Heroic don't play and that this is coming out and kind of throwing the veto into a weird position. But you have to look at the amount of times that NaVi have played this map as well, right? Sure, 100% win rate, that sounds pretty damn good.
Pretty nice.
But it's 3 times, and every single time it's been 30 rounds or more. 16-14 against Complexity, 19-17 against Liquid, 16-14 against Spirit. So it's not like they've necessarily been the most convincing victories. They're victories, yeah, but they've had to work hard for them. They've been pushed through in this new map of play. So let's see if Heroic can change that tune and rewrite history today for NaVi's Anubis.
And of course, the amount of data, you know, it's one way. Heroic can prep NaVi play their own game, which sure, everyone wants to do on a new map anyway. But if Heroic have any inkling of what NaVi's default looks like, what they do in these crunch time rounds, in these late game scenarios, they've got the data that NaVi don't have on them. So especially for a matchup like this, it does give Heroic potentially a bit of an edge. It's high risk, high reward, but that's his whole squad anyway.
Oh, Yabi trying to use this little wall as a bit of cover here to back off on the fade of these smokes. Meanwhile, Bit over towards A main, jostling for position. Util deployed on either side. Lurk smoke. Not perfectly placed there. Will at least keep the Inquisition of Shush.
He's close enough. He can play ahead of it, play over it, and make sure no one's doing anything funny.
We're at the 50-second mark, and I still can't tell you where NaVi are going to end this round. There's no real clear indication.
They're leaving both options open. Go mid and see how we fare. We've got an A player and a B player. Someone will be left to the wayside, but they've got to frag out in mid first.
Yabi not getting pressured yet. They don't have really a way to make this too uncomfortable for him either. They can lob a molly and try click. Oh, back turned. He gets pounced on by Simple, and now the mid to B's opened wide up. Tess says we'll hear this. We'll get that forward warning. But there's a man in main. Simple holding the rotate out of the A connector. Looks to up and leave now. They might try going back, but Shush is right here. Shush could end the round. Hiding in the smoke. Silent killer. Shush drops the bomb and steals this one from NaVi. There isn't time. And so Heroic find 5 from nowhere.
And they were set up for a B split. That was the entire round, but Tessa's got away from them. He swam through. He ran back into that B side. NaVi couldn't get the trade, and so with all
but when you've got 14 seconds left, right, it's probably not clicking as quick as it should.
Yeah.
And they've jumped into his jaws here. So the game now, just one round is the difference. Tassis has actually gone over towards A this time. He set up an aggressive smoke. Speaking of aggression, Shush leading the pack here. Yabi will finish off that frag, and they're going to keep on pushing. Look at all the smokes. They've used the aggressive maneuver. I love to see see
one,
it, boys.
Chad. You love this one. Yeah, we were seeing Ents throw these out of spawn as well. I knew you'd like it. Perfect play. Double smoke X second. They have all of the canals right now. All of both.
We've seen them do a bit of everything here, right? We've seen B main pushes at least twice. We've seen mid push comboed with dark push, and now we've seen a full-on A set piece that is premeditated.
And we were saying, you know, at 6-1, how can you be worried for Heroic? It's early days. Well, now I'm certainly not worried about Heroic. They've come in with a game plan. They come in with aggressive moves. Yabby's dancing right now. He will get finished off. Bloody hell.
Oh, dear. It's thinking, hey, boys, can you come over and kill him for me? I can't
he didn't
really
even try and get
anything.
out. He was just hopping.
I'm really loving this game, though, right? Like, considering how it starts as well with NaVi, it looks like it's going to be like every other Anubis game you've watched, where you're just struggling to find CT rounds. But Heroic are really looking to change that narrative by offering up a CT side. MPL can't connect the Deagle, and so that window of opportunity to get into the B side's just closed on them. Heroic are about to tie this game up at 6-all. And I do like how across these last few rounds, one of the things you were talking about earlier, Chad, was, you know, they don't have to be aggressive all the time. They don't have to keep going for these moves. And now it feels like it's very intentional, pulling them out whenever they know the money's going to be a bit rough for NaVi, right? When they're not going to have to worry about as much utility coming their way, they don't have to worry about like an AWP holding a long angle or AKs in a crossfire. They're taking liberties in those rounds to keep it very fresh in NaVi's mind that that's how they're playing. But then the moment we have the guns come back out, we've had like the slower rounds from Heroic. We even had the round where Shush robs it by hiding in the smoke, and that only happens because NaVi didn't even start taking middle till there was like 30 seconds left on the clock. They've been conditioned by Heroic over these last few rounds, and the Danes, they feel like they're in full control of the game now.
Yeah, and there's enough bank now for at least another buy here for them. So even if they do lose this follow-up round here, they should be good to try and close out the remainder of this half. But what's the change for NaVi? Right, based off of what you're just saying there, if we continue this cycle of conversation, well, do you keep doing the slow defaults and expect the aggression? Or do you now have to speed it up and try and take some map territory somewhere? The other option is doing a bit more of a faster set piece as a unit. It doesn't look like any of those latter options are coming into play here. Still looks like just the default spread.
Yeah, I'm sure part of the call is like, hey, they're the ones making plays. Let's react to it. Let's actually catch some kills first because we're going to get fights. It's a beautiful shot for Bit. He's still having a quiet game, though, and eats an AWP shot on the way out. Again, this walk into B main, and it's big info, but you see MPL, he's learned. Twice he's been caught on B aggression. He won't let it happen thrice.
And the fact that they've given them all this room, now this is a difficult clear here for the combo of Tessus and Stown as they're creeping and crawling their way. Will they clear this angle over towards Spawn? Stepping into it, lining up, and MPL goes down. So that is going to spur NaVi into something, I'm sure.
Stown, he's going to find the Dark player. And NaVi were just grouping to try and spring a bit of a play in towards B. It will hold Dark, swung there. Smoke in their way. Two players over towards Long, Electronic and Simple. Still in this round, still in with a chance, but they need the goods to be offered up by one of these two back in main. Tessez tagged up on the swing, Stown caught facing Electronic with the opener. He's given them a reason to believe, but with the bomb getting away from NaVi with so little time left, he's going to do it all over again, and Cadian bests him in the head-to-head. Heroic now up in the lead at 7-6, and they could win this out on the CT side of Anubis.
And Bit was the man that got the opener in the round. He's the last one alive, saving in Spawn here. So you could see just how they got picked apart, and it really fell apart with MPL getting isolated on that duel. I don't hate what Perfecto did, because MPL calls two players pushed. Perfecto's trying to contain them, so at least they know which side of B they're on. And this is the death that unfortunately makes this round unravel against NaVi here.
It's frustrating for MPL because you feel like, what did he even do wrong? It didn't seem like anything, right? He's just playing the jiggle timings, and Heroic are spacing so nicely that they just, you know, they're going to trade at worst, but it doesn't even come to that. Now just this AK with pistols.
Yeah, and this is where you do hope for something a little bit more direct here, Hugo. I don't have any issue with the Tech 9s around this AK, but you've got two methodologies. You allow this AK to work and hope that Bit can find you multiple kills, or you go fast and furious with the Tech 9s, and it looks like, well, we're getting neither right now as Cadian. He's about to be in a whole lot of trouble.
It's a close player as well.
He is dead, yeah.
Punished.
Well, that's the MPL's revenge.
Even lobbed in a flash. I wondered if that was for him to try and grab the AWP on the back of.
Could be a big nade. Yeah.
Yeah, they blew the AWP away. Tess says, you cheeky devil, you smart man. Now they run at him. Oh, the big brains make him an easier target. Yabi back in the site, trying to wrestle with the AK, but he can't hold on. And so this one has gone so wrong so quickly for Heroic. It started with the captain falling. And then one by one, piece by piece, this round has fallen to just one man. And it's not going to happen, not today. Simple with the reply. And NaVi come up with a 7th. They tie this game up again. They at least want to win out this first half.
I'm surprised Cadian goes for it, even though it is a change to have the AWP there in main over the M4s. Like, you know eyes will be on that position with the game plan that Heroic have brought to this table.
That's his first opening death as well.
Ooh.
Right? So the pissed around, he had the second round force as well. He had an opening pick here. He also had an aggressive A main play, if I do remember rightly. That was great, like
nice
heads-up play with the AWP, but it was too little too late. The swarm of NaVi was coming.
Oh, they've seen this before. They're going to boost over the smoke now. NaVi have a solution to the problem, and they pick Yabi out. They won't even fight for it. They've got their kill, and they know there's more where that came from, but now they can group and attack it a different way.
Great adjustment, though, to immediately be ready for it. After you've seen it come once, the second time you're boosting up and over, and you're leaving, well, Shush in the open seas here. He's still forward, and this looks like a position he
must have faith in the boat. Yeah. Oh, snipes it, but now he's got to flick back. They're about to trade him.
Why wouldn't they just molly him? Yeah, they will.
Oh, no way he lives. He can run
This is such a filthy little spot, man. Look at how hard it is for them to clear him.
All right, well, that's something we might see a little bit more of
I'm stealing that one.
Not too bad from Shush there. So brings them back, draws at level, 4v4 now. Electronic close mid, and that is the biggest problem for Stown as the double orbs have been brought out, tagged on through, down to 48 points of health. He hits Electronic as well here, so an exchange.
They've called for the big guns. But Simple's had to swap off.
It's the bomb in middle, though. Like, I know that Electronic can pivot away here, but they need to manufacture an opening and quickly. There's 30 seconds left.
Yeah, he's just going to be a turret in mid. Cadian reposition ready for Simple down below. And he's going to set up for this long peek as well. Easy shot for Cadian. 20 seconds now, and the bomb is lost.
Yeah, no time, no chance, surely. Cadian just looking to send them packing.
Wow.
And so Heroic close out this first half at 8-7. And that's from being 6-1 down to open up the map. They put up one hell of a CT side. Now they swap over to the T side of Anubis, where they could upset everything early by stealing away NaVi's map pick.
Till I get the call, no cell phone. Man, you talking to the real me. Yeah. Man, you talking to the real me. Yeah. Man, you talking to the real me. Yeah. Made in this image, I'm a young man. You talking to the real me. Yeah. Man, you talking to the real me. Yeah. Man, you talking to the real me. Yeah. Made in this image, I'm a young OG boy. real stepper. Check the shoes, get it poppin'. Eating good, feeling good. Where my hopping done at? Put it on a plate with some lemonade. That's the way we did it in the old days. Back then, mama said, get up, walk up, play. But you better not come home like it's street life. We was young, racing. Carefree was the best time. Fast forward, daydreaming about the next time. When it's gonna happen again, cause I just wanna have fun. Come and pick me up, meet me at the spot. Up all night, to the sunrise. Pop back cool, get ready for the ride. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? How you feel? Turn it up a notch, pop up clean room. Everyday celebration, take a trip vacation. You deserve a day, you deserve a day off. Working for too long,
Making magic when they need it most. It's clear Heroic have put some effort in here. They win out that first half 8-7. NaVi left around behind, playing catch up as they move over to the CT side. And Heroic honestly impressed me a lot in that first half. I think it started off in such a dire straits as well, with Cadian 3K'ing the pistol only to lose to a simple clutch. Then on top of that, you know, as they go through, they have a couple of cool opening round ideas, but fail to stick the landing. Couple of misguided stacks to open up. And then suddenly they clamp down on NaVi, only allowing them one more round in that first half, past the original 7 rounds of gameplay.
Well, Hugo, is 8 enough on the CT side?
I would say yes, but let's see if NaVi have some moves. I imagine Heroic are going to be running a rampant pace here.
That's a
the
fake.
Pistol already setting up. Quick into A. Bit's going to get cleared. He's having a stinker.
Shush is
And
a
it is
B.
a fake. The bomb's going back to B.
Look at Shush. He's pushing into CT spawn already, and the fight is still going on.
fighting for heaven.
Hey, guys, you've all over-rotated, and Shush is in cave. Watch
They're
this,
not gonna know
MPL.
this. He's dead.
Knife in
out.
hand.
Free kill, free B.
Absolutely free.
Ooh, don't go too far though, boys, because now
Yeah.
Perfecto's ready for the deep positions.
Okay, they know about Shush. They know that he's a little deeper. How
is why
long do
Simple
they
was
spend
scoping.
clearing him?
Orcadian.
Up close in the cave. Silverette is not his friend. Shush is overran. This one could get away from Heroic in spite of this huge opener. In spite of the empty B site. Yabi left fighting alone while Cadian's wrapped all the way through Temple, but the bomb is not planted for here. They don't have a kit in hand right now, so he's got 10 seconds to play with. Cadian moving in. They don't know where he is. They've got no idea, but he starts running, and that gives Perfecto that 1 extra second to turn around.
Both pistols here for NaVi, and both somewhat labored, right? You mentioned that simple clutch. This time around, it didn't feel like it should have been theirs whatsoever. They were completely faked out. They were talking about their sister Dayton Squeak. That's a reference that I'm not sure you two will get, but if anybody at home is as old as me and has seen the movie Basketball, maybe you will. But I know Trace will. I'm sure he's not listening right now.
Oh, he listens. He goes up to his room and puts it on the big screen.
Yeah, he does actually. He has it
yeah?
on the TV round the clock.
Oh,
Hey, Trace.
He enjoys the Counter-Strike network, does he? Well, with the plant, Heroic are actually not opting for the full-on force buy. They've only partially invested here, so this is curious.
I don't see this ever, especially not on such a T-sided map, but ever after planting T-side pistol, saving round 2. That is a rarity. Heroic trying to make their own destiny, create their own luck. Fights in middle, and it's not looking pretty. Rifles will come in to finish the job, though.
You do like to see that, right? Understandably so. It's a left eye peek for the player coming out of Temple. It's never a fun fight.
Should have 2 here.
We'll get it. We'll get the promise too. Cadian, tap on the bomb, brings them in, brings them up close, and Perfecto shuts him out of it again.
Oh, I'm curious there with Cadian's decision-making, right? He was guaranteed that kill. That's why he stepped out to kill MPO, and then maybe he thinks that if he doesn't get that frag, maybe he gets run down while planting anyway. Or he could have sat the plant, probably got the 800 in, right, and then died and not had that frag. So it's an interesting trade-off that they opted for there, but we know that they're going to be buying it with the AKs, and NaVi do as well. Simple rotating back into mid. Gets caught out, gets one, and
Because
that's about
they
it.
all have upgrades, and I think 2 of them had armor, NaVi might almost misread the situation because of the rarity. Now, I guess they would have seen Galils, but they saw armor pistols, and they saw pistols on everyone, no Glocks. So
But there just wasn't a lot of utility.
yeah.
Right? If it was a full buy in that environment, there would have been a lot more utility, or as you mentioned, Galils, and well, I guess they know the AKs are in play right now. That's an interesting smoke from Simple. Might use this to scale on down.
You see this a little more shallow sometimes because it puts a lot of pressure on, but this deep, Heroic are just going to go thank you and put down another wall with it. So
I hope they boost over it.
Yeah, that
if
could
there
be
isn't
cool.
a gap on the right-hand side, which there could be, I think Stown, yeah, I think there is, because he's kind of shooting over that right-hand side of the smoke, and that's nice. And let him know that no one went pushing with that.
Simple's starting to cheat over towards A right now, but Simple gets the luxury of being the player that gets to say, I play everywhere on this map. So his senses mean an awful lot, and Electronic as well. Is his Spidey senses tingling on the test says, not looking, goes down, freebie, 5v4 for NaVi.
4-by-3 and a 4-on-5 in favor of NaVi. They wait patiently. Simple making that rotate back to the B site from CT spawn. Bomb heading there. Well, no, rather not. It's flashing in the dark. You always feel like the bomb in the middle of the canals right now. Might go back to that A site and help out Shush. Yabi needs to fake with down. They have 1 Molotov to do this entire round.
They need a kill.
And NaVi still have 2 on A.
Oh, that little jiggle.
Huge.
I can't believe Bit just snipes one, yeah. Stown. Any kills he gets won't matter with the bomb already lost outside of B. This is a done deal. So NaVi sticking the landing in this first rifle-on-rifle round, getting out with a couple of AKs as well. It's a nice feeling.
Pretty unorthodox approach from Heroic so far, right? I know we've only just seen 1 gun round, but that wasn't traditional either, right? The fact that they went for that type of a fake, it's like, well, you're in the site, sure, but we know teams can play retake on B, and unless you're going to get kills or plant a bomb, why would they rotate? And the fact that Bit, as you mentioned, jiggles out, gets that kill immediately, bomb spotted, rounds over. Who cares about the B players anymore? It doesn't even matter.
So committed as well. It's not like they're like lurking and trying to fake B with some util. No, they're in the bomb site. So watch this be the most CT-sided game of Anubis. It wouldn't surprise me right now for Heroic. Maybe a bit of more than they can chew when it comes to these T rounds.
Inferno next, right? So it'd be curious to see how that one unfolds here. Kedian lined up with a scout on an AWP, and well, here's a push over towards B main.
Yo, can't win that, but his teammates will. Simple holds the line, and so yeah, Yabi gets one with the gun, and so yeah, it's cool, but it's not really giving them a lot. That flash play, that's brutal. Yabi calls the bluff, walks the smoke, but he needed the double. No one's stopping Simple right now, who's on for all 5 in the round. Cadian's all the way over in mid. And Simple's not in position to spam. And I feel like Bit would beat him if Cadian drops down to getting that kill. So, Cadian going back to long is the best way for Simple to lock in the ace.
Go on, lad. All 5 as we wait with bated breath. Electronic here to steal it. And Simple now considering dark, but he spots him, and that's the ace for Simple. 11-8, the CT side start to pick up steam.
Well, these are 2 great starts to the halves from NaVi, right? We had the first half, they were up 6-1. It was bloody good. It was looking like this was going to be a quick map. Heroic responded later in the half here to get 8, and well, speaking of 8, they're still on that right now. So NaVi, are you just good out the gates? Or can you get this one done and dusted? Well, if Simple's going to have a couple more rounds like this, I'm sure you can. The flash was good, but Simple's better and handling business here. No dramas at all as we do get back in the buy here.
Beat the molly. He got one boosted in. He is sending it. Yabi, oh, the jump. That is awkward. They would have heard him up close, but now they know they're out anyway. Perfecto pick. Yabi running them down. MPL can only take one with him, but the flank is fast for Electronic, and with low players on Heroic, the job is not done. Going through Temple to A is their best play, and they've realized it.
Oh, I don't know about that. Look at Bit. He's crossing the mid-bridge back on over. He's the A player, so they have to have a good idea that he's somewhere, and Tessus is just running knife out into Bit, bomb down, and now it's just Yabi on 25 points of health.
Molly's the bomb as well. He thought they were already through. Maybe he thought he was a little late to the party.
Did he hear steps?
Yep, he's aware when there's one, there's often two, and he can't take him. Electronic with a triple kill keeps things right for NaVi with that fast mid flank.
They're getting really tricky with it, right? They didn't want to hang around on B. I think they felt there were too many angles that they had to worry about or consider, right? You worry about Dark. They could be flanking around from B main, CT spawner, of course, Temple here. So they took a bit of a risk. And in some of these environments here that we've seen Heroic on the T side do this, they've outgamed themselves in, I would say, 3 rounds, where they could keep it simple, stupid, and go for trades. They're trying to be very heroic about this, which makes an awful lot of sense. But now burning their second timeout, we're getting into deep water right now, and NaVi looks like they're going to really punish Heroic for their petulance here of picking. Well, not
Off right, so they realize the fastest route is back through middle. The way he came, he can guarantee safety.
Just to have a fun anecdote I was reminded of from Mr. Esio, the stats genius. He was mentioning how back when we did have Heroic here through in the group stage, he told a story, Katie, and this is the one, about how they played Anubis in Prac against Rooster on Anubis without any utility and owned them, and then was hoping that that information would get back to Dexter because they're Aussies, so that the Mouths might think that they would play Anubis, right? Well, maybe there's like 4D chess going on here because now they are playing Anubis and they clearly have a couple of ideas how they want to approach the map. This isn't a team that isn't pracked on. It doesn't have any ideas. They know what they're doing.
Did you say they played with no utility?
Yeah, like what he meant was that they didn't know any
They
names.
didn't know names.
Yeah, they just wrecked them.
That's not what you were talking about the other day, where you were talking about old prac methods of playing with no sound or no comms or no nades.
And that was back before mollies existed, so you can see the difficulty level in that now has definitely intensified. This was running away quite quickly from Heroic. If we don't see a T round soon, right? In the first half, the conversation was, yeah, okay, NaVi are running away with this because it is the T side and they were popping off. It was like, okay, great. Heroic put up some resistance. They actually put up a great half, but right now, very worrisome signs here.
Barrel could poke out. Electronics alone.
Shredded by the MAC-10. Serious bit of real estate to have mid like this. A smoke could lock Simple out of the round. But they don't commit to the push. Shush is the man with the util. He's sat back outside of A. Looks like Heroic are just going to group for the A play. Most of the attention going to be put on main. Cadian left mid on his lonesome. Applying pressure a little bit later. You have to really hope that when they see this many bodies over towards main, including Tesses, who got the kill in mid, that this triggers Simple to move back over and give a bit of room to Cadian in middle. He can influence the rotations. He can lock out NaVi, but that spray misses. It's still a 3v4. The numbers still lie with Heroic, but Simple's been here since the site was taken. And when he hits a shot like that to open it up, what more can he do? A 3-on-3. Simple has closed the gap on that man advantage. MPL's walked into the site, will give a kill over, and with Simple dead in the heavens, Perfecto tagged up, his best play is to save that AWP.
Oh, after you hit that no-scope, you just have to go for it. It was made, it was written for NaVi.
They're hunting this.
Yeah, Heroic going to send to the AWP, and Perfecto fights on forward.
Dead.
Oh, he realized that it's too late. They were above him as well. He was a dead man no matter what.
I feel we've already had this conversation once this game, Hugo, but the fact that there have been a couple of close rounds here in the spree for NaVi mean that their money is in a worrying position right now. So you can see why Perfecto wanted to hold on to the AWP. You know, the loss bonus is bottom of the barrel because that's the first Heroic T-side round this half. And now, with where the money's at, you may as well take the eco because everyone should have just enough in the next round of play to be able to buy. So
and even the AWP.
And that sucks because NaVi, it felt like they were really running away with this one, and now they have to concede potentially double digits to Heroic here. It's just 2 Deagles, a P250. We'll make that 2 of those as well. And a 5-7 for Perfecto.
Great grenades as well. Nothing comes for free. They molly in front of Dark, which means this is a way easier angle to clear for Shush.
They are going into the stack.
Yeah, but they'll pick them apart. There's one. And Heroic have the numbers. I'm not worried.
Glyph player spotted, Perfecto getting spammed. Gonna find one, but that's the extent of it.
I'm a little bit worried in the next round of play for MPL here. He's playing over towards B, right? He bought P250, I believe it was, so he only has 1900 left over. He only gets 1900 on top of that. His buy is either going to be a FAMAS or an MP9 with util. So for him, the next round is going to be a bit touch and go. We have Electronic with 4.2k. If he is to drop an AWP, he's going to be lighter on, so might need some donations from Simple and Bit. He's looking to grab anything he can right now. A saved AK would mean an awful lot, but Yabi says no, no, no. A headshot comes through. And we do find ourselves just a 2-round game.
Who got the spawn for B main?
You want to have a look right now? We've got Electronic.
I was going to say, like, if MPL got the spawn, you could have, like, tried to set him up on an A1S, something like that, right? Have this be the round where you're a bit more proactive. But if he doesn't have the spawn, it really ain't worth it. He's just got to be the kind of anchor man on the FAMAS. So less than ideal here.
Wow.
He was looking.
It'd be special.
Yeah.
It'd be something to remember, I think.
A fairly weak A defense, not just because it's one man, but Bit's having a bit of a stinker right now. 6 and 18. He's got to be very careful, as Shush has been probing in many of these rounds. And talking of which, Electronic moving through mid as Cadian holds with an AWP. 8 out? No, he's back to the gun. Right time, right place, hits a shot. Simple tries to trade, but they're going to swing him together.
Oh,
he couldn't pick his
no.
side. He thought the rifle was coming first. It was just nades for Cadian to swing for a second.
Split A, boys.
They're not ready for that one, I'll tell you that. But Heroic have a man up, and they're going quick.
Into the stack, though. MPL and Perfecto both still here. MPL deals with the first. The FAMAS doing work.
Oh,
But his teammates fall so quickly, so concisely, and with Bit on the other side of the map, it's a done deal. And, you know, with the kind of game the Bits having, this is one of these rounds where, you know, maybe you could have tried to float the idea. Maybe you could have tried cheating over a little bit sooner, but he's having a really rough game. He's just going to hold on to the M4, play it out in the next. There is this AWP in mid. There's a part of me that would maybe even love to see him try and grab it, but...
I'm surprised to see him not going for it here because Simple can change the outcome of the round, but I assume he expects it to be watched, which it is now by Cadian, who has just gone to the bridge, and he can see that the AWP is still dropped over towards middle here. So they've contained this. All they need to do is watch it now, and that'll be the round. So it's just a one-round game. And I understand why Bit, after getting that mid-kill, floated straight back towards A, because they just killed the mid defender and Simple, who's everywhere, and that leaves Bit stranded on his lonesome, and he showed leg in middle. So at this point, you think, well, A has to be empty, but Heroic went the stubborn route and went through B, and were able to trade on out there. If MPL gets the second, maybe, just maybe, that's a little bit of a different conversation to be had, but this whole half is shaping up very, very nicely here.
yeah, it's a good map for info for Tees in the sense of, like, if you are an A anchor and you run the rotate to mid to help out, every footstep's getting hurt by any one of the canals of the boat inside of A main. They're going to hear you leave. So you feel like as an A player, especially on your own, the second you leave that site open, someone's walking out of main. That timer in the back of your head is always screaming, they're heaven, they're heaven. Now NaVi sent straight to hell on this eco. Just Bit with a gun. Everyone else on pistols. He's going to try and force a kill. Simple by his side. No armor. Will have to grab the weapon. And he'll swing out into the waiting arms of Tess's. 3 kills for the price of none. Heroic discounted in this round, and now they can just split B.
Okay, well, we're all going to be tied up here. 12-12. Next buy round should be pretty tidy for NaVi, considering the 2,900 loss bonus coming through, and that AK wouldn't do too badly either. Whoa! Damn, that's 2 AKs available right now. That was some messy spray there from Yabby, who has been having quite the game. They are going to plant Fishtail over towards the site. You don't want to give over the AWP, but they'll at least let Shush off the leash to try and remove these 2 AKs that have been scooped up, because that is going to be a huge boon, I would say, for NaVi going into the next round of play, even if they can just hold on to one of these. It's actually pretty sketchy when you look at the radar, right? Like, it's just Tessa's on the bomb. Heroic are very aware that NaVi aren't going to go for this and they're going to save. But, like, there is an avenue right now for NaVi to push on down and be safe over towards boat or push up behind Cadian here. So, it looks like Shush is getting ever closer, however.
Oh, he's on it. He is on it. Fires off that one bullet. They try to swing him. Oh, MPL does make a break for it and deals with the point man that was hunting them down. So at least gets out with the 1 AK for NaVi.
I want to remind everybody again, NaVi have played this map 3 times. They've won it every single time. And every single one of those matches, it's been 30 rounds or more. 16-14, 16-14, and they had an overtime affair in their 19-17, I do believe. So this is the thing. We're going to go all 30, right? You can feel it in the waters right now. You know we're going to go deep. But the question is, does one of these 2 teams get it done in regulation? Does Heroic break the streak for NaVi on this very map? Well, Blade, he's opted to take the timeout here. You can see Motormouth right now with the instructions in the 30 seconds where he's got 4, 3, 2, 1. He's going to have to shut up momentarily here. Simple with the AWP out again. Saved AK still in the hands of MPL, who did donate that AWP to Simple. And Perfecto into a silenced M4, which silenced M4s are back in fashion, boys. It seems crazy, this event. Hardly any A4s in play.
Yeah, I think people just got immediately. You hear about the damage change, one shot more, and that freaks you out, and you swap off. But the benefits of the A1S are, you know, not changed by the damage being lower. It's still the silencer, the fact that your opponents often don't know where you're shooting from, the smoke spam, all these things and more. And the price, of course,
For me, it's the price. More gun rounds.
Yeah,
more gun rounds.
Almost every AWPer plays A1S for that reason. What have you got for us down? Oh, the timing, but Perfecto flicks back in time. Keeps NaVi up a man.
That feels so much more risky than, say, like a Mirage connector lurk through a smoke, because at least you can go left or right. Here, Sound only has one option. Straight into the loving hands of Perfecto here. But they've seen enough and rerouting back over towards A. The question is Big going to be left to his own devices right here, or will there be a rotation back in time? Utility being juggled, and there's plenty of it. Molly for heaven, smokes available.
Cycle these nades, but they're not using them. Are they going to go back? Yeah.
It's actually cost them a lot of time here, though, Hugo.
Yeah, they even accidentally just left one behind. So whatever they had planned with the nade stack, I'm assuming this is for Fountain, over towards the A site.
Usually behind the cake.
Yeah, actually, or back cake. Yeah,
they have all B long info now. The full rotation's on here. Heroic are too late.
Watch Bit get blown to pieces. Oh, going close. This is nice.
Look at the radar right now. Heroic looks screwed. What's going on here, boys? There's a lot of conversation.
If anything, I think NaVi have been pretty restrained with how much they're pulling over towards A and mid right now. Bit mollied out into the open, and then these nades that made their way into main get lobbed behind Cake, bring Electronic down to 3, but they thought he should be a dead man.
I think after you double nade that, you think it's empty. You think there's no chance a player is there, but 3 health, the difference for Electronic.
And this one here, it seemed a bit odd with Stown going for that play, right? Just pushing on through the smoke on a timing, hoping to catch that dark position off guard. He gives up a freebie right there. The rotation back over towards A. It seems really strange with all the dropping of nades. The execute wasn't even pretty. So a bit of an odd one there for Heroic. But remember, this is the first time we're seeing them with their starting 5 playing on this very map. To go back to when Config was standing in for Stown. They allowed this through as a bit of a bogey.
Lost it in overtime to OG.
Was that the round with the Dexter clutch? Was that a different match? You were casting
What?
that, Harry.
That was against
clutch,
Liquid,
was that
wasn't
against
it?
Heroic?
No, that was Liquid,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Yeah, because it was in the arena.
Oh, what a push.
Oh,
MPL just straight into that fight. Simple. Doubles up the account onto Cadian. And just as the game, we thought it was getting close, I feel like the rug's been pulled.
What a horrible way for this to fall apart, if that is the case for Heroic. Otherwise, 3v5 with Perfecto jiggling mid, maintaining info without risking his life.
I feel like the biggest difference in these last few rounds have been opening kills in favor of NaVi. That's the difference. Otherwise, Heroic, when they started to actually slather some on the board, they were the ones finding those opening picks. And here they have to operate 2 men down with loss bonus at 1900 into the next. They're in the worst possible spot they could be right now.
Oh, dude, I mean, you know, if this were another team, they would already be looking at a save. And I know it sounds crazy, like the idea of, you know, just not even playing this one out, but sometimes that's how it feels. Oh, they even missed a flash into A. Like, this is ugly, man. Testes pulls a nade, his teammate is slaughtered, and they are cleaned up. It's a flawless round out of NaVi, 5 alive when all is said and done.
It's not the polished Heroic, is it, right?
No.
There's just a couple of little details here that just seem off, and this is what happens when you take a risk like this. They didn't want to brave the green pastures.
Well, is it the end of the world? That's my question, right? Because as good as Heroic have looked at one point in this game, they had a great seat side. Yes, it sucks to lose from the lead they had, but considering it's not their map pick, are you worried for Heroic in the series, Chad?
I think if you give NaVi anything, if you give them even a taste of weakness here, that they're the type of team who are going to surge forward off of this. And when you consider the type of form Simple's been in for most of this game, he has cooled in the last couple of rounds, just up to 21 kills tied with Electronic now, but he has been in good form. He's got an ace on a gun round. He's been looking like he's reading the play quite nicely here.
Beautiful.
Okay, he flashed for himself there, Electronic.
Yeah, bounced.
I like that one. Nice little self-setup.
Yeah, I mean, how often did NaVi go a 1-0 up in a series? Often a team from the back foot. And Now Heroic afoot, one man down below. Middle still being contained by Electronic. He has a re-smoke available. Heroic send the bomb all the way around the world. So Shush's position negated on an island. Electronic buying more time. How the hell do Heroic dig themselves out of this?
I feel like it has to be A. What are you even going to do over towards B if you're not committing, right? If you're not pushing up through Dark and taking this fight and sending Simple back, then you're in a lot of trouble. The jiggles are there. Simple takes that one. He'll take it every day of the week. And now what do you get left? You're just limping.
Oh, lucky bugger.
Dude, I mean, ironically, actually, feeding Electronic down in Dark now might just lead to Stown getting caught on the rotate. Thankfully, he didn't actually commit to holding it. And so Stown's been allowed to pass by for free. Means they're outside of A main, pushing in with 30 seconds left. NaVi already scrambling bodies over to reinforce the A site. They're not feeling any pressure in a 5v2.
No plant.
Electronic can just rob the bomb plant. Here he is. Gonna steal it away. And even though the trade is immediate, it's not enough. NaVi and their excellence on Anubis starting to shine through in these last few rounds. And it's making all the difference. Heroic can't find that opening kill, that little bit of leverage to give them a chance on the T side.
Oh, this one is going to suck here. They've called their third tactical timeout, their last chance to have a conversation here before this one goes down the gurgler. And what are you going to do? Mac 10s, Tech 9s fast? What else are you meant to call here? Your options are so limited in what is a good call.
And the B hits have not been pretty for Heroic either, right? At least NaVi had a couple of ideas in their pocket, some nice B splits, mostly an empty half, but yeah, to think the Heroic got 8 CT rounds to start Anubis, and then they just go cold. What a win for NaVi this would be, poising them for a run into the semis.
Yeah, FaZe waiting. That's an interesting matchup, right? Where either is FaZe Heroic, FaZe NaVi. I'll take either. Thank you very much.
Especially with the form we saw FaZe in today. Yeah, okay, they lost the map, but there was some unbelievable individual moments. This is a lineup for Tessez. Hits the wall, keeps running, waiting for the time to strike. Is this going to kill Electronic? Are these going to bounce?
I think it's going deep, right? This is for doors.
Ah, that's cool. They threw 3, one from A.
So that one there, I've seen teams use that flash as well through the doors, and it catches players over towards the connector position.
It's a nice little trick, and there's no doubt Heroic have done their homework.
I think you love that, though, if you're Electronic. Like, that's one of these, like, gimmicky moves, similar to, like, a boost or, like, a little one-way that you try to pull out to squeak a man advantage during, like, a desperate round, right? And there's no round more desperate than 12-15 down, about to have the map stolen away, and he didn't take a lick of damage. Now he knows they're probably not going to commit to mid on the back of it, so we've got 3 players over towards B. Stown will find one. Simple dead down in Dark. Perfecto trying to hold on to the site, but he burns in the molly. NaVi, this one's up in the air. They're a man down, looking at a retake. This was just pistols for Heroic, a desperate force buy. Flashing through, Electronic tries to be a self-starter, but ends up getting shut down. It's left a bit. Bottom of the board, 8 and 20 in the 1v3. Gap in the smoke, but he doesn't want to chance it, doesn't want to make matters worse, so he's just going to try and up and leave, but try is the operative word here. Cadian is hunting. Cadian is really looking to rub salt in the wound here.
Isn't this insane?
Yeah.
This cost 15-12, and he had left the site completely. Yeah. Like, imagine if Bit tried that round. An egg on the face right there if Cadian was over here and towards CT
no, he's gonna get it.
Oh, thank goodness.
Why is Bit ready for that? I can't tell you, but hey, we're just saying Heroic didn't have any nice B hits. That was a cool execute, right? The mid-nades fail on a broken buy. They have a double smoke exec from Cadian, and it works really well. Tech 9's overwhelmed NaVi. And Chad, a few rounds ago, you said, we've got a 30 rounder. We got maybe even OT, so why not take us there?
Well, this is the thing. If NaVi win now, this would be their most commanding victory on this map so far.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Or we make sure we stick to the script, because there's a reason we come in early and we do a table read, and NaVi, don't break that now. We've got 4 players who are really getting things done. 24 for Electronic, 23 for Simple, 21 for Perfecto, 18 for MPO. On the other side of the server, top of the charts, Stown with 23, and his impact in this round was felt. That Tech 9 up close and personal, taking down the big man. Yabi with 22, 19 for Cadian, 17 for Shush, and 16 for Tessus. I feel like I'm reading the lottery numbers.
Did I win?
I hope so.
I'll share the love.
Iron Maiden, respect. All right, well, here we go. Do we go the distance? Or are we going for speed here on map number 1? Another 3-1-1 split here for NaVi. So Bit really hasn't been tested or pushed too much over towards A here, like we traditionally see on Anubis with the defaults. I'm going to try and volley Perfecto out, and yeah, he will have to respect this. So being licked on down to 75 points of health, we'll exchange a nade.
Simple's been nailing these shots.
I have this weird feeling that, like, if we go 30 rounds, I think that's where Heroic look to exploit Bit. Right? Like, right now, it's kind of creative, the fact that they're not going A, and that Bit never really gets to warm up into this game. He's really struggling. He would just love a chance at some easy fights on players, you know, coming through the A main smoke and the likes. And so it looks like they want to try and pressure him now. These are the engagements he's been waiting for, right? These are the moments that can bring him back to life. He gets the opener in this round. Simple's over in mid as well. The AWP strikes, but here's Simple with the reply. Got close. They both missed that shot. And so they live to fight another day. But Cadian, he was about to go through that. MPL stared right at him.
That flash stopped Cadian.
They're coming for this, though. They're going to have a look towards heaven here. Heroic need to be really careful. This isn't a good setup.
Yeah, they can't overplay their hand here, right? In the last few rounds, when it felt like victory was assured, they've been going hunting. Instead, they give MPL the double, and Stound's got to do it alone now. His teammates feed the beast, and NaVi rise up in that retake. They take Heroic's ambition and they use it against them to lock them out of Anubis and go a map up in this quarterfinal.
Shock and horror around. You wish you could forget, and Heroic will have to. They've got to move to the second.